How cats see humans, the surprising truth about their perception. Have you ever locked eyes with your cat and wondered, what do they actually see when they look at you? Are they thinking, there's my human? Or is there something much stranger going on? Science and feline behavior suggest that your cat's perception of you isn't just different, it's radically alien. You might think you're the one in charge, the owner, the provider. But from your cat's perspective, things might look completely upside down. Let's pull back the curtain on the feline mind and explore what your cat really sees when they stare at you, and why the answer is more personal than you might think. If you love this kind of insight into your pet's secret world, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Point 1. How cats physically see you. Let's begin with something simple, but deeply revealing. Your cat's vision. Cats don't see the world like we do. Their eyes are tuned for dusk and dawn, the magical hours when they'd naturally be hunting. Humans are trichromatic, which means we can see a wide range of colors, including red, blue, and green. But cats? Their color vision is muted. They see blues and greens fairly well, but reds and pinks fade into dull, indistinct tones. A bright red sweater to you might just be a grayish blob to your cat. More importantly, their visual sharpness is much lower. A cat standing 6 feet away from your face won't register the fine details that you might think they see. You could be smiling, frowning, or pulling a goofy face. Your cat doesn't see that. What they do see, however, is motion. Even the slightest twitch of your hand or flicker of your eyes, they catch it immediately. And that brings us to facial recognition. Unlike dogs, cats don't really identify people by their faces. They know you by your voice, your scent, your routine. That's why your cat can walk right past a photo of you and have no clue who it is, but the second you open the fridge at the usual feeding time, they're there like clockwork. So in purely visual terms, you're a tall, somewhat blurry shape that moves and smells a certain way. But to a cat, that's more than enough to start building a relationship. Point 2. Cats define you by behavior, not species. Now here's where things get really fascinating. Because if a cat doesn't recognize you by your face and doesn't register colors or fine detail, how do they know you? The answer lies in behavior. Cats are masters of environmental memory. They don't just memorize places, they memorize patterns, feeding times, the rhythm of your footsteps, the way you speak, your emotional energy. To a cat, identity isn't defined by appearance. It's built from interaction. The person who fills the food bowl talks in a soft voice, opens the door just the way they like. That's you. Not because you look a certain way, but because you behave in a consistent, familiar, comforting manner. And here's the twist. Cats don't even separate you from themselves in the way we categorize animals. You're not human in their minds. You're just a unique presence in their social map. They don't see a tall creature with 2 legs. They see a pattern of behavior that feels safe. They define you by action, by your consistency, your tone, your energy. That's how they know who you are. That's why sudden changes in your behavior can confuse or distress them. You are their constant, their reference point, their emotional compass. Point 3. Cats think you're one of them. Let's go a level deeper. When your cat rubs against your legs, curls up beside you, or headbutts your chin, those aren't just random gestures. They're social signals used between cats. Cats don't form packs. They form loose, territory-based social bonds. And when a cat likes another cat, they'll slow blink at them. They'll nuzzle. They'll groom. They'll knead. Sound familiar? Your cat is treating you like another cat. You're not just tolerated. You're part of their group, their colony, maybe even their family. This is why some cats bring you gifts, like toys, leaves, or unfortunately, dead bugs. It's not a misunderstanding. It's a gesture of trust and bonding, the same way a mother cat might bring food to her kittens. And they're not trying to impress a superior. They're treating you as a peer, an equal, a feline companion in a human-shaped body. So do cats know we're not cats? Probably at some level. But they don't care. Because the categories we obsess over, species, dominance, ownership, mean nothing in feline society. What matters to them is how you behave. Are you predictable? Are you gentle? Do you respect their boundaries and provide for them? Then congratulations, you've been accepted into the tribe. Have you ever felt like your cat treats you more like a sibling than a human? Drop your story in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Point 4. You're not just a cat, you're their mother. Now here's the part that flips everything upside down. According to many feline behaviorists, your cat doesn't just think you're a fellow cat. They think you're their parent. More specifically, their mother. Let's look at the evidence. Kittens need their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. Adult cats who need your lap are reenacting that memory. Kittens meow to get attention. Adult cats meow primarily at humans, not each other. When your cat follows you from room to room, lies down beside you when you're sick, or cries when you leave the house, they're acting like a kitten staying close to mom. You are the source of safety, warmth, nourishment, guidance. You're not a leader in the dog pack sense, you're mom, and they never really grow out of that dynamic. Even grooming behaviors, licking your hand, nibbling your hair, rubbing their face against yours, are all ways that kittens bond with their mother and siblings. So when your adult cat does it, they're not just being affectionate. They're reenacting the most profound bond they've ever known. And this isn't something cats fake. It's deeply emotional. It's tied to brain chemistry, memory, and comfort. This also explains their emotional dependency. They seek you not just for food, but for emotional regulation. Just as a kitten returns to its mother's warmth for security, your adult cat returns to you for the same psychological comfort. Point 5. The cat-human bond is personal, not instinctual. Some people still believe cats are aloof or unemotional, that they tolerate humans for food and nothing more. But science and your cat's behavior says otherwise. Cats remember. They feel. They notice when you're sad, when you're stressed, when you're joyful. And their response to those changes says everything. If your cat curls up beside you more often when you're having a bad day, it's not random. If they meow louder when you're on a work call, it's not just noise. These are adaptive, responsive behaviors. You matter to them, not just as a food source, but as a living, feeling presence. Their bond with you is not mechanical, it's emotional, it's personalized, it's the result of a history of shared space, sounds, routines, reactions, and trust. So next time your cat presses their paws into your lap, purrs against your chest, or stares into your eyes like they're looking into your soul, remember this: they don't see you as a human. They don't see you as separate. They see you as family. Point 6. Cats as emotional mirrors. Let's explore another surprising angle. Cats as emotional mirrors. Many cat owners report their pets acting differently depending on their own emotional state. Cats are surprisingly attuned to your body language, vocal tone, and even scent changes triggered by hormones and stress. When you're anxious, your cat might retreat or become extra watchful. When you're relaxed, they may be more affectionate. This means your cat isn't just passively observing your moods. They're reacting, adjusting their behavior to maintain emotional balance in the environment. That quiet comfort they offer when you're grieving. It's not a fluke. It's empathy in action. They may not understand your problems, but they understand you. That emotional mirroring deepens the bond in ways few pet owners realize. Cats may lack verbal language, but they compensate by tuning into your emotional frequency. Their silence is not ignorance. It's attentiveness. It's recognition without words. Point 7. The role of territory and how cats view you. Territory is everything to a cat. Their world is defined spatially, not just socially, and you are a key fixture in their territorial map. To a cat, the home isn't just a shared space, it's their space. Every room, surface, and object carries scent markers, routines, and rules. Your presence in that space becomes part of the structure they rely on. You moving around, performing daily rituals, or just existing calmly in their territory reinforces stability. And when you leave, that absence isn't just noticed, it can be distressing. It's a breach in their structured world. Understanding this can change how you see behaviors like clinginess or anxiety. You're not just a person. They've integrated you into the very architecture of their life. You're not separate from their space. You're part of the territory itself. Your presence holds the map together. Point 8. How cats interpret your body language. Humans rely heavily on spoken language, but cats are experts in non-verbal communication. And believe it or not, your body language speaks volumes to your cat. When you approach slowly, avoid sudden gestures, and maintain a calm posture, your cat reads those signals as non-threatening. But if you move erratically, make loud noises, or hover over them, they may interpret that as dominant or aggressive, even if you meant no harm. Your eyes, posture, and energy all create a vibe that your cat learns to read with uncanny precision. So when your cat seems to anticipate your mood or respond to your unspoken intentions, it's not magic. It's feline intuition based on years of decoding your every move. This silent conversation shapes how your cat perceives your intentions, and ultimately, how safe they feel around you. They don't need your words, they need your presence, your consistency, your calm. Point 9. The power of vocal tone and speech patterns. You might think your cat doesn't understand what you're saying, but they absolutely pick up on how you say it. Cats are sensitive to tone, pitch, and rhythm. A soft, high-pitched tone is often perceived as friendly or nurturing. A loud, sharp tone can signal danger or disapproval. Some studies even suggest cats can distinguish their owner's voice from others and respond specifically to it. They may not grasp the meaning of words, but they associate your tone with emotion and outcome. When you speak lovingly or sing to your cat, you're reinforcing a bond that's reinforced not by words, but by melody and feeling. Over time, your vocal tone becomes another layer of their emotional map of you. Tone becomes memory, rhythm becomes reassurance. Your voice becomes part of who they know you to be. Point 10. Attachment styles in cats. Recent studies show that cats, much like children, can develop attachment styles. Secure, anxious, or avoidant. These labels, often used in human psychology, also apply to how cats relate to their caregivers. A securely attached cat will explore confidently, return to you for comfort, and show resilience in stressful situations. An insecure cat might hide, vocalize excessively, or react strongly to your absence. This means your cat isn't just reacting to instinct. It's building a psychological model of your relationship. The way you interact with them daily, whether consistent or unpredictable, shapes that attachment. In their eyes, you're not just a caregiver. You're an emotional anchor. And the type of bond you create will influence how your cat sees you not just today, but for years to come. You're not just part of their life. You're part of their emotional foundation. Point 11. Myth-busting. Cats are not unaffectionate. There's a long-standing myth that cats are emotionally cold or indifferent to their owners, that they only stick around for food and treat humans more like vending machines than companions. But the science, and your cat's behavior, tells a very different story. Studies on cat-human attachment reveal that many cats form deep, emotional bonds with their humans, comparable in security to that of children and caregivers. A cat who chooses to sit on your chest or sleep on your pillow isn't just being lazy. They're seeking closeness, warmth, and the emotional reassurance your presence provides. Affection in cats might look different from that of dogs, but it's no less real. It's shown through slow blinks, grooming, sleeping near you, or even gentle headbutts. So the next time someone tells you cats are heartless, remember, they probably just don't understand the language of feline love. Point 12. Real stories from daily life. Ever had your cat jump on your laptop exactly when you're focused on something important? Or bring you a leaf, a sock, or even a bottle cap like it's a grand offering? These aren't just funny quirks. They're your cat's way of including you in their world. That sock? It's a gift. That interruption? It's attention-seeking, but in a way that mirrors how cats interact with other trusted companions. One user online shared how their cat, after being left alone for a weekend, ignored them for a full day, then curled up beside them as if nothing happened. Another reported their cat sleeping on their suitcase the night before a trip, as if to say, "You're not going anywhere." These micro moments say more than words ever could. They reveal just how deeply your cat tracks your presence, and how invested they are in the emotional rhythm of your shared life. What's the weirdest or sweetest thing your cat has ever done for you? Share it in the comments. It might make it into a future video. Point 13. What sleeping habits reveal about your cat's view of you? Where and how your cat sleeps says a lot about how they perceive you. If your cat sleeps near you, on top of you, or in your bed, that's not just a matter of comfort. It's about trust and safety. In the wild, cats are most vulnerable during sleep. So choosing to nap next to you, belly exposed or pressed up against your chest, is the ultimate act of faith. Does your cat seek you out at bedtime, follow you into the bedroom, or sleep on your belongings? That's their way of staying close to what they see as their protector, the one who keeps them warm, safe, and secure. Sleeping behaviors are one of the clearest signals of feline attachment. And if your cat insists on sharing your space when they rest, they're not just tolerating you, they're bonding with you at their most defenseless moment. Bonus FAQ. What else do people ask about cats and humans? Do cats recognize their owners? Yes, but not by face. Cats rely on scent, voice, and routine behavior to identify humans. Visual recognition plays a minor role compared to olfactory and auditory cues. Do cats think humans are cats? In many ways, yes. They don't categorize species like we do. Instead, they interact based on behavior. If you act like a trusted companion, they treat you like one, cat or not. Why does my cat stare at me? Prolonged eye contact in cats is a form of communication. If followed by a slow blink, it's a sign of affection. But a hard stare without blinking can be a request for attention or a subtle challenge. Why does my cat follow me everywhere? Because you're part of their social group. Following you helps them feel secure and in control of their environment. It also reinforces their bond with you. Why does my cat sleep on me? It's about warmth, protection, and trust. Sleeping on you shows that your cat sees you as a safe place. It's a powerful gesture of vulnerability and comfort. And that brings us to the most intriguing question of all. If your cat sees you as their mother, what do they remember about your time together? Do they remember the day you adopted them? The time you left for vacation? That moment when you cried and they wouldn't leave your side? The emotional memory of cats is deeper than we realize. And in the next video, we're going to dive into exactly what your cat holds on to and why certain memories last for life.